I mean, I think all those guys, for the most part, were young guys, and it was their first one. And I think always when you go your first time, you experience a lot of stuff. But I think when you go your second time, you know all that stuff you experienced. It's about one thing. It's about what happens in those 3 hours. And I think it's real cool for those guys who have gone to be able to talk to players who it's their first time, kind of help them not get caught up in stuff, especially guys who are rookies and guys like Debo and things like that. So having experience always helps. I mean, I think it's not a coincidence why they have. I mean, I think the quarterback is as hard to beat as anyone who's ever played the game. The things he can do from a talent standpoint, and then you pair that up with his scheme with Andy, how Andy runs a team, with Mahomes' experience now. I mean, that's why no matter what type of game it is, whether it's low scoring, high scoring, whether they're struggling or not, I mean, they always have a chance. If they can keep it close, he's really tough to stop. And when you can always have a chance, and you also got a really good defense, you got a great coaching staff, a great head coach, that's usually a very good formula to win most games. I always pick someone differently every day to break down the team. I always just try to surprise someone and do it pretty randomly. It kind of keeps everyone on their toes a little bit. And I did it randomly for the first time with Nick some Saturday, and he did a good job and we won. So I think I did it the next Saturday, and he did a little bit better job and we won. And I think it was towards the end of the year. And then we just started with that the following year, and it's kind of just, since then, it's become our tradition. And Nick's gotten really good at it. I remember he's always been good at it, but it's funny how guys who are so confident in everything they do, they're just not used to always speaking in front of groups. And he used to tell me that was the most nervous he'd be throughout the whole week. He'd start getting nervous about it on Wednesdays. And I think earlier this year, he thanked me. He's like, "Hey, thanks for doing that, by the way. I've gotten better at it. I'm not as nervous anymore." So, and he's really good at it. Everything he says, he thinks through. And Nick doesn't waste words because he doesn't use many of them. I mean, you get to hear all the reports and everything and all the work that our personnel department does for years. But I mean, the only time you really get to know someone is when you get to hang out with them. And we had him in for dinner, and so I got to sit with the dinner with them. And you know, people can trick you all the time and things like that. But what was so cool about Nick was there was no tricking. And just like I think how he talks to you guys, how he always is, Nick is himself. He is very true to what he says. He doesn't just make stuff up. If he doesn't have something to say, he's not going to say it. So he was a guy that was very easy to connect to with the dinner, just because you could tell how he was acting as who he was, and really enjoyed him from the beginning. And he's always been that guy that we met on the first day, and can't say enough good things about Nick.